Yeah, I sent it, man. It's there.
All right, I'm looking.
You have to go up to the. Where did it go? I just saw it.
Okay, I see it. I see it
Right.
now. All right. Our final contestant in this category is Hezekiah Eno from Peniel Church. Let's get Hezekiah on here now.
Please look at Trotman in the chat.
Oh, okay, I did. I think, let me check.
Good afternoon. My name
Just
is
hold on, please. Hold on, Hezekiah. Hold on. I'm checking in the chat for something.
The last chat at 5:18.
Okay, I see you made an amendment. Okay. Noted. Noted, Brother Turner.
Thank you.
Okay, so we move on now to Hezekiah.
Good afternoon. My name is Hezekiah Inu. I am representing the Peniel SDA Church. Today I am reciting Job chapter 42 from the King James Version. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hideth comes without knowledge? Wherefore have I Who is he that hideth comes without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Hear, I beseech thee, and I will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto thee. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now my eyes see thee. Wherefore I abhor myself, and repent in dust and ashes. And it was so, that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends, for he have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job had. So take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering. And my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job. So Eliphaz the Temanite and Bildad the Shuhite and Zophar the Naamite went and did according as the Lord had commanded them. The Lord also accepted Job, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Kerenapuch. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Hezekiah.
Thank you.
This brings us to the end of the adventurer segment. At the end of the competition, I'm going to make some comments. There are some things that I would like to point out for the next stage, because the winner will go on to represent this federation in the conference-wide competition. And there are a few things that need to be corrected. All right, we'll move on to the Pathfinders. And I have 3 names here. And you will tell me if I'm right. I have from Bethel, Mataniah Gentle. Is that correct? Can we have someone who's in charge, someone of the officers of the Federation who will know this to verify the information? Is Mataniah Gentle here?
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
representing Bethel Church? Okay.
Yes.
And your name, could you spell your name?
Matt
Yes.
Ani.
AH.
Yes.
Correct. All right. We have Darnell Nelson representing Emmanuel. Is that correct? Darnell, are you there? Can we have Darnell acknowledge whether this is correct? Emmanuel Church?
Emmanuel 720.
And this is Darnell, I presume?
Yes, miss.
All right. And the final participant in this, the Pathfinder section, is Josaria Seeley. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Peniel Church? Peniel Church?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, okay. And the passage for this category, it's Proverbs 2 and 3. Judges, I'll give you a chance to find, it's Proverbs chapters 2 and 3 for the Pathfinders. And I noticed that chapter 2, chapter 3, yes. I will not have you say both. I will choose one of the two. Could we start with Mataniah Gentle, and I will ask Mataniah Gentle to say chapter 3. Of the book of Proverbs.
Mom, I can't do chapter
Can
2.
we?
I could request to do chapter 2.
I'm hardly seeing anything. It's very dark. I need to see the person because we have to judge on gestures and all of that.
Sister Chief Judge, the participant is requesting to do chapter 2 instead.
Is there a reason for this?
Maybe they're more confident, perhaps.
I'm not sure.
Well, you don't get that choice because I just choose one. The thing about it is that they need to learn both passages. They need to learn both if they're going to represent the Federation. Did you learn both of the passages? There's something about this in the conference rules, you know. The judge could choose any one that they want them to say. And they need to learn both chapters.
I did learn both chapters, yes, but for the last couple of verses of chapter 3, I'm not so remember.
You do your best. You say you do your best and we will decide. Sometimes people do worse. Sometimes they don't even know as much as you know. Remember, we are choosing a winner here for the Federation. So we have to push it to see how much people know so that we can pick the best person to represent the Federation.
This here.
All right.
Well, dear. This got to go above it. I could push my hand.
Sister Shireen, are you seeing better than I am? Sister Shireen?
It's very dark on my side. I'm not seeing anything.
It's very dark here also.
Can you turn away from the window? If there's a window behind you, looking into the camera, turn away from it.
It's very, very dark. We're not seeing the person.
If you have more light, can you put on more lights? It looks to me like they have the camera facing into the sunlight or something.
No, it's not facing the sunlight. Please hold. I'm just
Gerald, could you turn on the light in the house? Could you turn on the light, please? She turn it on, she get it right thing. Yes, are you able to sort out the lighting problem? Because we need to see you to judge you fairly if we're going to see your gestures and all of that. And if we can't see you, we cannot judge on gestures. Can we please have the participant time is going, because just now it's going to get so dark. Could we have the person representing Bethel to start now, please? But Turner, you were looking for gestures. Are you seeing when the person was on?
No, it was pretty, it's kind of dark a little bit, but she's off camera now, so I suppose they're trying to get the light
Yeah,
right.
she's
Yeah.
outside. She's outside.
Right.
So it's much, much better.
Much
All
better.
right. All right. Go right ahead. Chapter 3. Let's see how much you know.
Good afternoon, judges and fellow people. I'm Matani Gentle, and I'll be memorizing Proverbs.
Don't shake. Don't shake so much. You're swaying too much. Try to stand still.
And it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add unto thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the tables of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil.
It shall be held.
It shall be held. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be held to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with all thy substance. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruit of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, for neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth.
Happy?
What?
Happy? Happy?
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. For length of days are in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, and by understanding hath he established the heaven.
By his knowledge.
My son, let not
By his knowledge.
his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down their dew. My son, my son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom, and discretion.
So shall they. So come on, so shall they.
My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep
Keep sound wisdom. Keep sound wisdom. Sister Gentle, you know any more? You know the rest of this chapter?
yes.
Yeah, so shall they be life.
So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. So then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not shall and so shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid.
Yea, yea, thou shalt.
When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid. Be not afraid of.
Sudden.
Be not afraid. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked. When it comes.
Neither of the desolation. Neither of the desolation.
Neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh.
For the Lord. For the Lord.
I would
Don't
like
give
to
up. For the Lord shall be. Come on, come on.
Excuse me, could I just continue it?
You want to continue it? It is your choice. You want to continue? For the Lord shall be. Sister Gentle, you have to make a decision.
Looks like our camera is
I'm seeing she's
internet
stuck there in
stalled.
one position. I'm not hearing anything, and she's
Game,
not
it looks like
moving.
our internet is stalled up.
Yeah,
Sorry, she don't want to continue it anymore.
What?
Okay. She's not able to continue now.
All right. Let us encourage her in the audience. You can send something in the chat or give her a round of applause.
Excuse me, why are we having a gameplay at that car? Take him out of the car.
Judges, you sent in your score, we'll move on. Let us take the second person from Emmanuel Darnell Nelson. And we're going to ask Darnell to also say chapter 3.
I don't
And
know the full chapter. I only know up to 11.
all right, hold on. I will have to consult with my judges on how we should proceed. My fellow judges. This is posing a problem in the sense that I'm going to consult with the two judges and then we'll decide what we, just hold a minute first, please. Yeah, Shireen. But Turner, please answer your call. I just want to consult with you quickly. What do you do?
Are you calling on WhatsApp? Mr. Dame, are you calling on WhatsApp?
We're going to call you straight now. Take the call. Well, members of the audience, the judges have conferred and we have decided that we have 3 participants for this category. And we're going to ask all 3 of them to say what they know in chapter 3. So it will be fair, the Pathfinders. It will be fair to everybody. So we will see who knows the best of chapter 3. And that person will be the winner because I guess all of them learned too. So we'll see what happens. So we'll ask our brother from Emmanuel to say what he knows, as far as he knows, in chapter 3. So Brother Nelson, if you said you know 11 verses, let us hear you say those 11 verses in chapter 3. Yes. So go right ahead.
My son, forget not thy law, but let thy heart keep my commandment. For length of days and long life and peace shall be added unto thee. Let no mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck and write them upon the table of thy heart. So shalt thou find good favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy way acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be unto thy liver and marrow unto thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruit of all the increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy press shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not thy chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his commandments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. And we will move to the final contestant. And that person is Cesaria Seeley from Peniel. And like I said, we're asking everybody to say chapter 3. So Cesaria.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jazaria Silly, and I'm representing the Peniel SDA Pathfinder Club. So, begin?
Yes. Begin.
Yes, thank you. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add unto thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies. All the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and her ways are ways of pleasantness, and
all
her paths are peace. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. That is all I know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Judges, we will have to confer in terms of this category because in chapter 3, none of the participants learned the entire chapter. And we will have to decide how we're gonna award this because they're supposed to learn both chapters. But we will talk about it at the end of the competition. I just want to get out the actual competition out of the way. We have one more category. So the gentle person is the only person saying it. All right, we have gone on to the senior category now, and we have one participant. And for the passage here, it is Job chapter 38 to 40. And we have one representative, and that person comes from Bethel Church. Martisa Gentle from Bethel Church. And the other person that I had there is not doing it. So we have 3 chapters. I'm going to ask.
Excuse me, the memorization is from Job for the master guide.
Yeah, that is what I saw. What you learned. Let me see. That was what was sent to me. Is it Proverbs? Is it? I can't remember if it's Proverbs. Is it Proverbs or Job?
I got Job 38 to 40.
38 to 40, that's what I said. Job 38 to 40. So.
Well, sorry, I learned the wrong thing.
What did you learn?
Ezra 4.
What? Wow, wow, wow.
That's what they told me.
The passage for the senior memorization is Job chapters 38 to 40. That is what was sent to me, and I think that is, yes, ma'am. Or sir, I don't know who it is. Speak.
Excuse me, miss.
Somebody asked to be excused. Could you speak? I would like to hear what you have to say.
Could we hear her because it's memory work, and we'll be able to.
The passage is from Job. It's not from Ezra.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think because memory work, obviously she can't go into the competition without knowing the Job. But for the purpose of today, we can hear the memory work, see what it's like, and give her opportunity to correct that.
Excuse me, miss. I learned Proverbs chapter 3.
Huh?
We have another learning Proverbs 3.
Proverbs 3, it's that is from the other category.
Yeah.
That's a Pathfinder category.
So again, I'd say for the purpose of observing memory
I don't know how this happened.
Let's listen to them.
But what age this person is in? This person is in the category of the Pathfinder. If the person is in the category of the Pathfinder and they know chapter 3, might be good. You get me? If the person is a Pathfinder age and they know chapter 3, it might be good for them to say it.
Let her see.
Well, we could just have it as a display, but it's not a part of the competition.
Competition, yeah, I'm
you
saying.
What age group? What age are you?
13.
So that's Pathfinder.
What?
She's a Pathfinder.
Yeah.
13? Well, therefore you're Pathfinder. So let's hear you. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Kelisa Bess. Kelisa Bess.
Kelisa Bess. And from which church?
Bethesda.
Okay, Kalisa. Spell the Kalisas. K-A.
Kelicia.
Could you? What to C?
Yeah.
C-A-L-I-S. What? Spell it for me, please.
K-E-L.
K-E-L-I-S-A. Best.
I-C-I-A. C.
Oh, Kalicia. Okay, I got it. Kalicia Best. Well, could we have you saying Proverbs chapter 3? Just hold a second, let me find it back.
Yes.
Yes, Kalicia. Go right ahead and you can begin. Yes, Kalicia, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelicia, and
Yes.
I'll be saying Proverbs chapter 3. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my command, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For the length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not on be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he corrected, even as a father the son in whom he delighted. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all that thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days are in her
Length of.
riches, and on her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom had founded the earth, by understanding had he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eye. Keep some wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do so. And tomorrow I will give when thou hast it by thee. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but the righteous shall inherit the earth. to the Lord, but his secret is greatest. Thus the Lord in the house of the wicked. He blessed the habitation of the just. Surely he scorned the scorners, but he giveth grace to the lowly. The wise shall inherit the earth, but the shame shall be the promotion of fools. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. This is one we need to discuss. For this category, we have to conform. So I'm going to tell you from now that you will not get the results for the Pathfinder section today. But we're going to give you some comments about, and we'll give you the results for the adventurer. We have to conform on this, on the Pathfinder.
This was Calicia Best?
No.
What is her name?
Calicia Best. Yes,
Yes.
Calicia Best.
Do we have any master guides?
No. I'm going to make some general comments about the competition this afternoon. And I'm going to let the judge responsible for pronunciation and enunciation make some comments about her observations. If she has left out some of what I want to say, I will say, and I'll have the judge responsible for intonations and gestures make his comments. But I will make some general comment. I thought, as usual, that the younger children made a good effort at memorizing. And however, we have more work to do if we are going to be ready for the countrywide Youth Congress competition. And we know that the adventurer category is always a very hot category. So we'll have work to do to bring those young children up to scratch. I noticed that, I don't know if it's a platform that we're using, but the platform is not to be blamed for memory. So it means that people have to go and do a thorough. I've noticed an exchange and substitution of words. Remember that especially in the adventurer contest, it's very, very close. So if you switch words around and say onto for to and things like that, you're going to lose points. So you have to be very tight and you have to be very exact in terms of the word that is in the Bible. You have to say the exact word. And I also noticed that there were some pronunciation problems, but I'd let Sister Shireen deal with that. And all in all, I want to congratulate the younger ones. And in the Pathfinder category, there were some good efforts. However, there were some things that I will talk about, but I will let Sister Shireen talk about the pronunciation and enunciation and fluency as it related to her area in that category. Sister Shireen, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Some of the things I found that most participants neglected was the ED endings. Most of them could not pronounce the TH. So whenever we are talking about the, you're hearing Z and they for they. So they need to focus mainly on their TH sounds, the pronunciation of initial sounds at the beginning of words, what sound the word gives, because I think some of them were going so fast, they just try to run through the presentation instead of focusing on pronouncing the words correctly. In terms of fluency, with fluency, what we were looking for is how many pauses people had, if you were repeating certain words often, and how much you hesitated while you were presenting. And for the Pathfinder category, we realized that that was basically, I don't want to say a mess, but you did poorly in that area. And I don't know if some of you were caught off guard by being told that you have to say chapter 3. I know chapter 2 at the beginning would be the strongest thing. But then when you were called to do 3, you could not do it so well. So I believe in terms of fluency, that is why you had the breakdown in points. But although for me, even though you would have known 11 verses in chapter 3, even if you know 16 or all of them, if you had focused on your pronunciation and enunciation, then you would have scored your full points, because whatever you're saying it to the best of your ability and making sure that what you say comes across well. And those are my comments for you. You just need to ensure that you focus on your initial and your ending of particular words, and focus on the words that mostly give English speakers, especially Guyanese, a problem. All right? Thank you.
I noticed that in the passage for the adventurers had some challenging words in the book of Job.
Okay, yes.
Eliphaz, Temanite, Naamatite, those words we have to pay attention. Whoever is working with them will have to pay attention to those, the pronunciation of those words, because I have been in a national competition for a number of years, and I know that this adventurer category is a hot one. And I would beg the members of the Federation to work with these children so that they can pronounce these words correctly. I have observed that a number of the words were not pronounced, especially the names in the passage. I underlined a few, and we had too much of substitution of words, that words that are not in the order that it's supposed to be in the Bible. You cannot do that. L-E-S-T is not least, it is lest. That word always gives people problems. I don't know why. And like I said, those ones, the names, the Eliphaz, the Temanite, and Bildad, and the Shuhite, and Zophar, the Naamathite. We must make sure we get those right. So those were some of my observations and some of what Sister Shireen said also. We'll now hear from Brother Turner as it pertains to gestures and, was it intonation?
Good evening, everyone. And thankful that I have the opportunity once again to be one of the judges for this year's updates version of the competition. And I'd like to join with Sister Dame in saying that at the national level, I wouldn't say just the adventurers, but all the categories at that level, it is a very hot situation. And it is necessary that participants are fully prepared. More directly, the areas of memory work involving intonation, gesticulation, is very much related to your ability to articulate. And what I find, listening to most of the persons, those who have had their memory work completed were more able to include these two aspects. So it goes without saying then that when your memory work is completed, you gain full confidence, and the natural tendency of every human being to add flavor to your speech, to your ability to articulate, comes as a result of what you know. And so what I would encourage here is for the participants to quickly complete your memory work, fully complete it. Once you do that, um, being able to intone at the right place, being able to add the right kind of hands and facial and bodily actions will come naturally. What we found was that in the adventure category, for instance, there was a decided effort to add these flavors to the memory work. I've discovered, being a person who did memory work myself, is that if you focus on attempting to add flavor rather than let it come naturally, you have a tendency to lose your memory work because your concentration is divided. So let the ability to intone and the ability to gesticulate come out as a result of your ability to deliver the memory work. And as a result of that, also because it wasn't completed, there was lack of confidence in quite a few individuals, and the nervousness, of course, stepped in. So that didn't flow, especially in a couple of the adventurers. And for the pathfinders, you notice that they were not too focused on that again because the memory work was not completed again. We didn't hear from the master guide, but the judge will tell us what will happen there. And so my encouragement is get your memory work completed. Develop confidence that you're able to articulate all of the information that you had to memorize fully, and your ability to intone your voice at the right place, gesticulate accordingly, will come naturally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge Turner. I thought about the Pathfinder segment, and I want to make this recommendation to the Federation, the Updates Federation. I would suggest that you hold another session for the Pathfinder section. Probably in another 2 weeks or so. You will decide, I wouldn't tell you, and give the Pathfinders a chance, because almost everybody did not learn chapter 3 in its completion. So I would suggest that you have another go at this competition in this segment, and it will give persons a chance to complete the memory work. So I wouldn't make a determination in terms of the judging, because it would be very, very difficult to decide who should represent the Federation at this point. So I'm strongly suggesting that they have another competition, probably this time at the church, where they will have a small audience and they will be in front of in a direct setting, and they will be able to deliver. So because some of the words, the endings of the words were cutting out with the internet as it went up and down, and I wasn't hearing everything. So I would suggest that we redo the Pathfinder segment at a later date prior to Youth Congress 2020. So now I will give you the results of the adventurers.
Before you, I've seen that somebody was about to, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Maritisa. I was thinking that if you guys doing another one for the Pathfinders, if it's okay if I learn
my decision. It is not my decision. Yes, it's not my decision, though. I'm just suggesting.
But even if, right? If I'm the only master guide, is it okay if I learn the correct thing?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting. All right. So we will, the persons that ask us to do the judging, we will confer with them and tell them our observations, and then they can decide what they will do as a federation. So you will have a chance also to learn the right passage this time. So let
Okay,
us
thank you.
start. There were 6 persons that entered into the adventurous section. And I'll start from number 4. We have in 4th position, Zene Trotman with 81 points. In 3rd position, we have Sakani Barnes with 88 points. In 2nd position, we have Denasia Nelson with 90.5 points. And in 1st position, we have Hezekiah Inu with 95 points. So there you have it. Hezekiah Inu took the 1st place with 95, followed by Denasia Nelson from Emmanuel with 90.5. And in 3rd position, Sakani Barnes from Amelia's Ward with 88. And Bethesda Zine Trotman with 81. So that's it. And I want to encourage the others to try harder, go back and work a little harder for 2021. So congratulations to the winners, and I wish you well in the national competition. I don't know if anyone else, I'll hand you back over to your federation officials because we are finished with our part. Thank you.
Let us start the video, right? Mag-inisip namin. Okay. So we're going to have our Vesper, which will be done by Pathfinder Jude. He says our speaker for this afternoon is a dedicated, humble servant of God, a Pathfinder that is always willing to do what he is called to do. May I present to you Pathfinder Jude Howard.
We're not hearing anything Pathfinder Jude is saying. No sound. Still nothing. Check your mic because we're not hearing anything you're saying. We're seeing your mouth moving only.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Loud
Yes,
and
Miss
clear.
Hogan.
You can hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, okay, here. Yeah. No, no, please. Don't put your book on top of the thing. Don't put your book on it. Yeah, don't make no noise. Fix it in your ears.
Good night, everyone.
Speak loudly.
Good night, everyone. Today, theme is Jesus, the light of the world. Let your light shine, shining for Jesus. Matthew 5:14-16. You are the light of the world. A city is set on a hill cannot cannot a city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do nor do they light a lamp
Yeah, to hear you clearly. Continue.
and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light before men, that they may see your good works and glorify the Father in heaven. How many of you are afraid of the dark? Do you like to sleep in the dark or with the lights on? When you turn on a light, even a little one, the darkness goes away, so does your fear. The Bible tells us that people who don't know Jesus are in the darkness, but it also tells us that Jesus is like a light. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. You might be asking yourself, how can I be a light to the world like Jesus? Jesus said in Mark 10:43-45, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Jesus was all about service and missions. The Bible says that Jesus emptied himself and took the form of a servant. When? When was the last time you helped a neighbor in the yard for no reason? When last did you take out the garbage without being told to do so, or sweep the floor, or wash the dishes, or even make up the bed? Je- Jesus said that when we do these kind things, people see God reflected through us and glorify Him. Servants think more about others than about themselves and value people more than material things. When we stop focusing on our own self, selfish needs, we become aware of the needs around us. Sometimes people may may take advantage of your servant's heart or be un, unappreciative. However, Jesus says to serve anyway, as through you they might see him. For the most part, what our world needs is someone willing to take the first step, humble themselves and serve. I can some homes, churches and communities. Paul said in Romans 12 verses 1, in view of what God has done for you, offer yourself as a living sacrifice. This is about dying for the self and serving God. God wants you to make a difference in the world. He wants to work through you to serve others. What's stopping you? Without Jesus, your life is full of darkness, sin, and evil. You have no power to shine for Jesus. But when you invite Jesus to come into your heart, He can forgive your sins and give you a new heart. Until Jesus comes into your heart, comes into our hearts, we have no power to shine for Him. This is how we can be the light of the world like Jesus Christ. How many of you want to have Jesus in your heart? So your light will shine for him. God bless you all. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Pathfinder Jude. We will now have our closing prayer by Pathfinder Collis Jacobs.
Thank you, Lord, for a wonderful day program. We were indeed blessed by the effort of the Pathfinder and adventurers. Today, bless we embark in this new week and help us to live for you daily. Amen.
Sister Leslie Charles will now come and give her closing remarks.
Good night, everyone. We want to thank the Federation Executive for organizing, along with the uniformed personnel, today's activity. All the area coordinator and his team, counselors, directors, everyone who prepared the children for today's program. After this afternoon's program, we also want to thank our judges for doing a fine job. Parents, you're encouraged to work with the children so that they can all be prepared for the national program on the weekend of October 23 to 25. I am sure God was pleased with what took place today. Let us all continue to serve him with whatever talents we have. Please remember the various activities that we have ahead, especially the Bible Speaks motivational preaching sessions that are upcoming. This afternoon, while I was paying attention both ways to this program as well as to a program with head elders and other persons, we learned that the Bible Speaks program will be a national initiative. So we will all have to be tuned into that program on Sabbaths. But in our various groups, you will get more instructions. May God continue to bless us all as we continue to serve him in this part of the vineyard. Have a very good evening and a very good week ahead. God bless you.